morning, everybody. Welcome to the second session of our Q&A. And this month, we've got a whole array of questions that may actually just help support you and serve you, as we know some of what we experienced as survivors are also what others did too. So have a listen. I hope you find this helpful. I know that personally I did too. Here we go. So we don't name the names of the people. We like to respect your privacy, but these are questions from all around the globe. So the first one is, hi, I just want to reach out and say sorry for what happened to you. I too was raped by my mother's husband when I was 7. I'm now 51 and he has remained in my family. I just don't know how to deal with the I don't believe you stuff from others. I have now removed myself from that family. It has been reported and a video has been made. Sometimes I just don't know who to talk to. Thanks for the question. Well, look, I think you've done the right thing. I think that as survivors, we often spend our lifetimes trying to convince others of what happened to us, and where there's no appetite to listen to us means there's no appetite to support us. And although that sounds like a harsh truth and reality, it is a truth and it is reality. So congratulations on finding the courage to leave. I think all too often there can be a judgment made on us as survivors who leave our families where this occurred, in other words, have nothing more to do with them as adults. And often we are judged, and we're judged harshly and unkindly. And how could you not have a relationship with your mother, brother, etc.? So well done. Look, it's not called a second wound for nothing. The first wound, of course, is the trauma that was inflicted. And the trauma is not what happened. It's how we responded, what happened to us on the inside. As a response to the abuse. So looking for people to talk to. There are community groups where there are survivor groups for this type of trauma. Otherwise, feel free to join us at Handing the Shame Back. We have a whole array of survivor interviews on YouTube. If you go to our website, there's heaps of resources, and I promise you will feel less alone. I hope that helps. Right, question number 2. And they're great questions, people. So if you want to submit one as well, remember just email us at contact us at handingtheshameback, or one word, .org. We look forward to receiving them. Right, question number 2. Hi Gloria, not sure if this will reach you, but I thought it's worth a try. My question is about complicity. How is that, in my case, when I learned that my father, who is now dead, sexually molested my adopted sister from early childhood, and revealed this truth to my sibling brothers, that they will not even entertain or even think about discussing it. Moreover, they have silenced my sister by offering her their love if she is happy to do so, whereas I am not. I am the whistleblower, and I blew that whistle on behalf of her while our father was alive, which saw him oust me. No surprises there. What does surprise me, however, is my sister's complicity to stay silent as ordered by her brothers. I know she craves acknowledgement, love, and of course it's utterly understandable, but to opt for repression when she has the opportunity to stand her sovereignty with support somewhat baffles me. Of course I am the pariah to out the truth and am effectively out of the family, which I can live with, as I'd rather not be complicit in my father's crime. So tell me, is this situation one that is familiar to you? Is this a classic Kiwi way of dealing with the uncomfortable truth of interfamilial sexual abuse? Really, all I'd ever want for her and my other sister, who committed suicide, is acknowledgement this happened and it was wrong. Notable too is at my father's funeral, my brothers chose to admit the existence of us 3 girls. We were never even mentioned. With love and respect for all that you do, Gloria. Thanks for reading this, and I'd love your opinion. Well, that's pretty multi-layered. First up, I'm so sorry you lost your sister. That's incredibly sad. Secondly, regarding not even being mentioned at the funeral, you girls tells me everything. You're not welcome here. Your presence is not to be acknowledged because you carry the truth of what your father actually was, and your brothers do not want to face into it. They would rather hold on to that memory and therefore their complicity rather than stand by and support you sisters. Your sister, and I just want to give you some grace and acknowledgement here. I think you're incredibly brave, and I think you're incredibly enlightened about this whole situation. However, I encourage some gentleness. Your sister is not where you're at. It is not time for her to be where you're at. And how do I know this? Because she's just not there. So rather than judging her and struggling with her decision, even though it's incredibly difficult, I think it's important that you stand by her and love her whatever she chooses. She hasn't had that unconditional love, you see. And by you doing that, you're showing her what real love is. If you decide to not stand by her and not have her as part of your family, what happens is that she will choose people who will, which is who your brothers are. Is it right? No. Is it wrong? Yes. She should not be manipulated in this way, but she's carrying a trauma, and we both know that trauma of this type affects us all quite differently, and she's probably terrified. So if I were you, of course, feel however you need to, fabulous survivor that you are. I honour you. But equally allow her to be who she is. And though you may not agree, and though I understand the frustration, I believe that it's important to just stand back a little and accept that who she is for right now is this person. So with love and light, and thank you for your fabulous words, please look after you first and then do what you can for your sister only and if that feels right. I hope that helps. Right, question number 3. You guys ask some fairly detailed questions, which is great. Question 3, why didn't you just run away? You would have been better off on the streets. Tell your sisters what was happening to you. I just don't get it. Hey, look, thanks for the question, and I don't expect anyone to get it really. What you may not understand is that from infancy I was conditioned to do what I was told and to behave in the manner I was. And I think it's an uncomfortable truth that sometimes, although I tried many times to run away, I was always taken back, and it just wasn't safe for me anywhere. My only safe place was school, and I couldn't stay. I couldn't live there. They would kick me out every day. I couldn't run. I was a child. I was terrified. I had no words I could use at that time, hence me releasing that across the world for under 16s to use as I would have used that myself. My sisters did know, and there was no action there, and I wouldn't have expected that. They were children too. So I hope the understanding that you glean from my response is helpful to you. I did the best I could with what I had as a child. So I'm proud of who I was back then. And when I look back, I think, wow, I got through. So love and light to you. I hope that your survivor journey, if you are a survivor, is going well for you. Okay, next question. My mind. I was in a foster home as a toddler and have had enormous CPST, or complex post-traumatic syndrome and was told by an astrologer I must have REM therapy. I am 69 and remembered stuff after a minister prayed for me for hours after I'd been crying uncontrollably. He asked me if I'd ever been abused, and I assured him I had not. But then that night it all came back in my dreams, but somehow I seem to have forgotten again. I'm very involved in exposing the darkness through my videos, but they've been taken down 3 times, and now I am seriously shadow banned. But sometimes I think I need the therapy. Do you know of it at all, or a good therapist close to Whanganui? I tried hypnosis once, but didn't trust the guy, and he couldn't get me under, even though he thought he did. Thanks. Yes, look, that's very complex. So in answer to your first practical question, no, I don't know anyone in Whanganui, but I do know that if you look at a list of ACC providers, there may be someone in your area who can offer some resource or support. Look, I think with this thing, and I have said it before, and I know it's uncomfortable, but I'm just going to be real. When it's your time to deal with this, it will emerge in you. I wouldn't push anything or force anything or try to have it front of mind. It will come through quite strongly, have no doubt. What's for you will find you in this space. Your trauma is just that, and it's not who you are, it's a part of who you are. And how we learn to integrate those broken or fragmented parts of us is all part of what happens in a therapeutic process or in other realms. But I want to encourage you to just be kind and gentle and loving with yourself, because that wasn't available to you as a child going through this, and it is a way sometimes to have a little bit of comfort and reassurance. Just looking at your question as well, there's a reason that it's not front and centre, and that is because you're not ready. So please trust that. Okay, last question for the day and for this month. Here it is. I was also abused as a child. I'm still in therapy. My question to you is, have you been able to form a relationship with a significant other? I have not. That is why I'm asking, wondering if it's possible. Thank you. Hey, look, thanks for the question. And to protect the privacy of my partner, I won't give more than general details. But yes, I have been able to form a relationship. And yes, it's wonderful. And yes, of course, there will be challenges because I'm a survivor of quite prolonged and significant trauma in child sexual abuse state. So I think what I needed to do and what I would encourage you to do is the work on yourself. And what you'll notice is that the more you heal, the more likely you are to attract someone that is right for you and ready for you. And of course, this partner or this person will need to have complete understanding for the complex trauma you have been through. And interestingly enough, some issues that arise in partner relationships won't be present when we are alone and trying to deal with this, and part of the healing or the further healing will come through those relationships and issues that surface. But a resounding yes to it's all possible, and yes, it can be amazing, and you so deserve that. And keep on your journey, keep on your path. Anything is possible, and you deserve nothing but the best. So that's it for the Q&A for this month. But again, fabulous survivors, if you have questions, pod them in an email to contact us at handingtheshame.back, all one word, .org. We will endeavour to put them in our Q&A and respond to you accordingly. In the meantime, it is with nothing but full respect and admiration for the journey you are all on. We stand beside you always.